Hi, this is Steve again. Really brief update on some of my locomotive work on my workbench. I just finished this one yesterday. This is a brass gem Pennsylvania Railroad Class N1 210-2 heavy drag freight hauler, which I just finished, and everything seems really good with it. What I had to do in this locomotive was I had to take it apart, and it had an open frame motor in it. So I ditched that, and I had to fabricate a cradle for a new can motor. I don't know if you can see it in there, but I actually fabricated the cradle out of sheet styrene. I had to make kind of a triangular ramp-like contraption that's screwed into the bottom, and then the motor is epoxied onto that, and it seems to run pretty well. These locomotives were used in heavy drag service primarily on the western Pennsylvania lines around the Great Lakes. This has a lot of nice detail to it, and with the can motor in, I suspect that its performance should be significantly improved. Turn it around to the other side here to get a look at it. So it has a shorter Lines West tender on it, number 7650. It's got a DCC sound decoder in it, working headlight, etc. I'm going to set that one aside for a moment now. The other one that I did, that I finished 5 or 6 days ago, this is a 482 New York, Ontario, and Western Y class. This one's been stripped, cleaned, primed, painted, decaled, lightly weathered, dull coated, etc. Number 405. This one I actually did not put a sound decoder in. I just put a regular decoder because I probably will not use this real regularly. I just like the looks of the engine, like I said. And I didn't do anything on this locomotive with the tender pickups, but you know, that seems to have turned out reasonably well. There was an issue with the crank pin sheared off on this side, and I had to jury rig that. I had to get a different crank pin and a different mount mechanism for the eccentric crank, but at least as of right now, that seems to run okay. But we'll find out when we get it at the layout. One other thing in this first locomotive that I wanted to show you underneath, this has to do with improving the tender pickup. What I did on this one is I kept the original trucks, but I used phosphor bronze wire, and I actually soldered that on each side, or in each wheel set, to the brass bottom of the truck. And I also, I don't know if it can be seen there, I also soldered a small wire to each truck. It goes up through a hole in the cab floor and into the decoder. I'm doing everything to try to improve these pickups. Also had to drill out holes for a speaker. But other than that, other than that and the can motor that I installed, I didn't really have to modify this locomotive here a whole lot. With that long wheelbase, it's got a blind center driver. It'll be curious to be seen how it operates on the curves that I have, 32 radius curves. It probably will do okay, but who the heck knows? Hard to say. Anyway, that's it on these two. I'm also got a older Mantua 462. It's got a flawless mechanism. What I'm doing on this one, and I'll work on it later, is I'm going to replace the stock motor with this can motor flywheel combination here. And just from holding it and running it, that's as smooth as any brass mechanism. So if I can get it in properly. So we'll see how that goes. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.